Yeah, we're here. 107,600. We got the pump that I told you I was long on last night, which is crazy, right? How does Sam Price get it every single time, or most of the time? I lost a couple times last week. Let's break it down. Let's see what's happening to BTC. Let's break it down. Your favorite crypto superhero, the Crypto Lifer. No days off, every single day. And I have fun doing this. That's why I do it. And I love being consistent. That's why I am. So let's take a look at BTC. We got in here days ago on the 17th. It's been about 2 days now. Bitcoin went sideways. They stomp hunted as best they could. I keep my stop deep. Look how deep I was. And they were unable to get me. And we got the pump further to the upside. I'm trading the daily candle as well. And then if you look here for BTC, and we just take a look here at what we had going on. We had resistance. And there is an SR flip, right? You're retesting previous resistance. And I mean, just things are going the way they, we stopped the bleeding for sure. Like it was a never-ending dump. And then it looked like it was going to be bear flags. But so far, we have made a bull flag, stop hunted the end of the bull. So look what they did. These people are crazy too. They're so desperate for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's going up because they stop hunt so much. You see what I'm saying? If they didn't stop hunt so much, why would they stop? Why do they have to stop hunt so bad? Why are they so greedy? Like, look at that. Like, that's a clear manipulation move. That's clear. We're going to send it higher, but we're going to liquidate everyone right here first. It's obvious to me, right? So, I don't know. Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Shout out to everybody here. Because my hearing is off or something, but today it just doesn't sound the same. And we'll see. Anyway, so the idea here is this. You had previous resistance. It became support. And I still can't believe they went and did this. It's just so, it's such a move of like, look at me. I want everyone to know I exist. Number one, it's definitely, I want everyone to know I'm here. They're not bashful, right? Let's be honest, right? They want you to know that they're here because that's obvious. They don't even try to hide it sometimes, which is kind of weird. Like they could come up here and get everyone like inside the pattern or do a little dip. But no, they make it really apparent that they break the trend line of an obvious pattern. snatch every stop loss they can that's close to the bone, 100x, 50x, because you have to be pretty close. Otherwise, you'll be out anyway. And that's the thing. They know the numbers. They can run a 100x trade and see where they stand. So they know the numbers. They can run the number on you and see exactly where you are. You see what I'm saying? And from there, they can deduce what else they're going to be doing. So just remember that. Like, you're part of the herd every single time. And on the weekend, it's a lighter order book. I trade lighter on the weekends with bigger stop losses. That way, I'm more likely to make gains. I'm not trying to, I don't want to lose. I don't attempt to lose. I don't desire to lose. So we're looking for Bitcoin to pop here. Out this flag to back to 109,000. I'll tell you what, you get back above 109, that changes everything. Changes the entire game. That level is so sought after, and so key. If we were to get back above 109, we would likely pump back to 117, 118 and crush the shorts, right? So, how do you know how to put your stop that deep, and how much lev did you use? My leverage is on this specific account 39. And again, don't trade leverage if you don't know what you're doing, please. Please. I didn't trade leverage for years, over 10 years. Now, I'd say 10 years, but I'd say definitely 9 for sure. My first years of trading were on and off. I didn't really, I don't know if you'd call me a trader. I bought a few things, just kind of looked at the market. But when I look back, that's when I began. So it is what it is. But yeah, I feel like you could make a living and you never have to touch lev. You know what I mean? I do lev because there's a lot of times in this market where we got tight. Bitcoin went up $2,000 a day, or down $2,000 that day, or up and down between $2,000 that day. And there was so much opportunity. Look at even today. There's volatility there. That's opportunity. And I wanted to harness, honestly, I leverage trade to harness the volatility of Bitcoin. The true, real reason that I leverage trade is to harness the volatility of Bitcoin. It's such a fun asset to trade. And it goes up and down, and it's so big, and it has so many days of just, and you got the fear and greed, and because it does that, and it moves so well with such big amounts of money, there's so many people attracted to it every day. The volume is amazing. It's honestly a dream come true. If you think about trading Bitcoin is a dream come true for the trader. If you've ever had a low liquidity book, if you've ever been tight, if you ever had the inability to find your way in and out of a trade due to what, the asset you're trading at, Bitcoin just never has that problem. It's so full. So I leverage trade to harness the volatility of Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Today, look at that move. Why not wake up $430, up 433 at 33.99%. Pretty crazy, right? The 99, the 33, the 33. But the whole idea is that, and so my thing is, I knew technical analysis. I got good at swing trading, understood all that. I went in from, on the next level, and then I started doing swing trading gold, figuring out what was happening. And then I eventually did get, 10 years, I get a good handle on TA. And then I'm watching Bitcoin, and I can see what's going to happen. I see a flag, and it pumps huge, and I take no money. And I used to say, say to myself, what am I doing here? I could see that move. It didn't do anything. I said I could have opened up a tiny lev trade with just $200. It made 1,000. You know what I mean? And I would do the math, and I'd run the numbers, and I'd start being like, man, what am I doing? And for 2 to 3 years, I watched trades without touching the left. And I saw, man, would have won that. And eventually I was just like, you know what? I got to get over this fear. And I stumbled at first, for sure. Lev isn't perfect. Lev is very hard. Extremely hard. For me, it was the hardest thing in the world. I was good at spot, and next thing you know, lev just made it got in my head. It's kind of crazy, Recall was a hot runner. It made a beautiful flag. Look, above the 200. Looked like it was going to do the dang. Slumped down and got everybody that kind of chased that puppy, My thing is this. If I get stopped out on something like that, it's okay because I'm going to win. I feel like I'm going to win at least 5 out of 10. And I only have to win 3 out of 10 of these. As long as my risk is proper. Stop loss below the 200, it gets hit, then you let it dump on you, That's actually a beautiful loss if that's how I lost. I'd be like, that's perfect, right? And again, house does always win in the end if you don't stop. Eventually, you got to walk away, which I know is going to be hard for. Like, one day, I'm going to have to say, this is my last levy. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. But anyway, let's break down BTC. Let's have some fun. Let's get back to where we were. I've done a lot of technical analysis, and I'll do it again. I remember when I used to delete my TA and bug out because I was like, oh, man, I don't know if I can do that again. It just gave me, like, such a proud moment of, like, how I can just whip it up now like Betty Crocker. You know what I mean? Call me the Betty Crocker of TA. I'm just no. Call me the Gordon Ramsay of technical analysis, because the way I could just whip it up. So, yes, we have bearish divergence. Possible Adam and Eve double top. Bitcoin on the bigger time frame, you have to start thinking, looks pretty bearish. But, it did this many times before. It looked bearish here. It had kind of a shoulder, head, right shoulder. It had a shoulder, head, right shoulder here. Like, that was, you could say this was a head and shoulder, right? It just looked like it was going to dump. And a lot of times, Bitcoin has given us this huge bearish set, and even had bearish divergence. And, there was some bearish div there, in my humble opinion. This is supreme. A rising wedge does break down 68% of the time. This is supposed to head back to where it began. And yes, if you hit 78,000, I mean, you could easily wick down to 65, 67. Like, there's definitely, and pull a fib from the top to the bottom, and that's my exact 618 right there. And then the 786 is where I just circled, which is crazy, right? I didn't even think, but that's... So, again, if we were to retrace, that would be a bear market retracement from the top. And, we would end up somewhere down at 65,000. If it did what Bitcoin usually does and it kind of takes its time, you'd think somewhere by July, right? And that's when we would kind of start to, and then 2028 wouldn't be that far away, right? That next halving. And the thing is, each halving is going to be less on Bitcoin too, because less Bitcoin, less halving, you know what I mean? Like, each time the halving is so small, it has a significant effect on the idea that you're just going to have a shock to the supply, though. What's out there already is going to start really getting FOMO'd up. 2028 isn't that far away. It's kind of crazy. Like, we're already 2 years into the next halving. I mean, it'll be 2026 before we know it, right? Just a couple months, and we celebrate the new year, and then boom. Time is flying. I tell you, the older you get, the faster time flies, my friends. Hold on to your life as you can. Stay in the moment as much as you can, because, man, Sam's in the kitchen. You're damn right I'm in the kitchen. Got the spatula, baby. Ha-ha. Let's go. Anyway. Shout out to Lakochi Coker, always holding us down. He became a lifer. Joined, was part of the group, hung out, ended up working for the company, became part of a group, became amazing. Ended up actually becoming a liaison, right? Helping us out on the side. But he's amazing, man. The guy's unbelievable. God bless you, brother. But yes, I know I'll be 50 soon. It's weird. I looked at my life. My good friend's 45. I met him when he was 33, 31, like, that's a chunk of time in a man's life from 31 to when you're 45. Like, it's kind of like the prime of your life. In some ways, in your 30s, I feel like you have the most wisdom with the best physicality. But even by 35, you lose a little physicality compared to when you're 25. 28, 29 is when you peak physically, period. I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't mean you can't get big and can't, I know people that are 40 that look better than 20. I'm just, when everything's there, all your cells, it's all vibrant, man. I've been there. I just know. I'm 42. In the 40s, you feel this. You're not slow. You still feel young. You look good. Like, you kind of fit in. You're like, but everyone knows you're getting older. Like, everyone sees you at the supermarket, and you're like, I remember one day I was 25 doing a movie with some of my buddies, and an actor came over, and he was pretty hard, and he had partied his life pretty hard, I think. And he, big dude, he was like, 42, 44 or something. And I remember being like, wow, that dude's old, Like, I was hanging out, and I was like, oh, I kept it in my mind. I didn't tell anybody. We all make our, and I looked him up and down, and I was like, oh, this dude's so cool. I was like, but man, damn, that's what happens when you get 40. Like, he's beat up, you know. And I'm sure I look like that to the younger generation. They look at me like, damn, that dude's 40, man. You know? And you don't see it as much because, you know, if you care about yourself, you love yourself, the way you look at yourself, if, you know, you're vibrant, you always try to see yourself young. For me, like, younger than you are, you know. But the idea is, you know, the truth sets in, man. Yeah. Someone said 43 now here, and I feel it physically from my younger days. I'm 45 in the best shape of my life. Yeah, I like to hear that. I like to hear that. I agree. I'm in like, I could be in a slightly better shape. The last few weeks of traveling and, you know, have kind of thrown me off a little bit. I got to get back into being like I'm doing workouts, but I haven't been as consistent as I should have been with when I was traveling, you know. Stam's still a puppy. Wait till you're 54, man. God bless you, man. Thank you. Anyway, let's get back to the charts. Sorry to get into it, but it's Sunday. I like to just talk about life on Sunday. Lately, I've been very retrospective. You know, my mom's death is coming upon us, and just thinking about life, you know. As she died on Thanksgiving, it'll always be, you know, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and her birthday was 4 days after Christmas. So she just, you know, her life surrounded these times. And this is where she worked the most to make everybody happy, you know. And I'm sure in heaven she's toiling around thinking about what she could do for us right now. I'm not going to do it, everybody. I'm not going to go there. So here we go. Sorry, God bless you all. And this isn't this is the Technical Analysis channel. Let's go, baby. To the upside. Right? Get ready for Cyber Monday, right? Black Friday, we will have some sales for you. So if you're excited to join the group, get ready. It's going to be a blast. We have a really good time doing that, and I can't wait to see all the new people that jump on it. So look, we have two red candles. This looks bearish, right? You know, that's all you got to say. At the same time, you've got a wick, you know, and I just, let's take a look. It's hard to see this, but whenever you just, you know, you're not kind of tweezer bottoming, you got two wicks, but they're not really together. I don't know. It's rare. I don't see it all the time. Let's see. And what am I looking for right now? I'm looking for a huge wick, then a candle with a decent huge wick, but still inside the big wick, which is almost impossible to find, right? This is one right here. You have a huge wick, a candle with a wick, but yeah, I mean that's the same thing. And we do, you know, we do just kind of continue to melt, right? So that's a similar scenario there. That's the closest I could find at the moment. I could fish, but so anyway, to me it looks bearish. You know, bearishly retest this key area here for BTC, and it just kind of is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but it just is what it is. So seeing this, it makes me say, hey, it's weird, man. Something bugging me out. I can't explain it. Anyway, it must be my ears, man. So the key is this. That looks more bearish than bullish, 100%, right? And you've lost this key level. That's it. 5-day chart is attempting to dig in with a green candle. 3-day chart is attempting to dig in with a tweezer bottom right there. That's special. That's a beautiful thing right there. We could get a move. I mean, there's a lot of chop here. Bitcoin doesn't just blow through its levels. Just like it can't just make new all-time highs out of nowhere, right? It came down, it respected, and now it's almost like it's raiding the double bottom. Look at this. It's kind of interesting, right? It made a double bottom, hit the target, came back and grabbed everybody that thought they could maybe ride for higher highs. You know, this could just be a bag pack. You know, who's packing their bags and why? Why are they packing their bags down here? Because they're about to take you on a ride. A lot of people are going to leave this market, I believe, at the wrong time. The one thing I cling to is the fear and greed. Whenever it's at 20, 23, anywhere between 15 and 25, man, I am like, wow. Anywhere between 25 and 35 is also an absolute blessing. And I don't know if you saw me, but I grabbed more Bitcoin and I grabbed even more on the low. I continued to decide that I just had to grab more BTC. I said to myself, okay, it's going to go down to 70K, 65. I said the low is likely 65 if we ever go that low. I said, and I realistically, Kind of don't believe we'll ever go there. But again, what I believe doesn't matter, and I tell myself not to think like that. I say, you know nothing but the fact you're ignorant, Sam. And I say, you're right. All you know is you're taking a shot on conviction. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. Like, you can't beat yourself up either way. You're taking a shot. What you can do is commend yourself for taking a shot and not standing in the same place. Because millions of people are standing in the same place like this, like a deer in headlights. I swear I was going to buy Bitcoin, they said. I swear I took action years ago. I continue to take action. Action creates a reaction, which creates results. If you do nothing, you get nothing. If you do something, you at least learn something. You may fail at it. You may lose money. It may not go the way you plan. But what you'll take from it is an absolute life lesson, which is actually more valuable than the money you've lost. See, what I realized, that life was a game of experiences, not a game of money. Money was a precursor of your actions. If you made the right actions and you were consistent in something, you're going to get money in whatever you're in. Because you're going to create in that industry. And if you create for the industry will pay you, because every industry has money waiting to pay the participant. Every single industry is just like a football team waiting for you to join and work your hardest. You could join the car industry. You could join the crypto industry. You could join the Navy, the aero industry, right? The flight. You could join, the boat industry. You could become a boat salesman. You know what I mean? Learn about boats. Get into it. Apprentice underneath the sales guy. Get to a shop. Next thing you know, you're selling boats. Then sell some bigger boats. Next thing you know, you're selling yachts. Who knows? You know what I mean? And you're making commission off of a $20 million yacht. The whole point is anything is possible if you put your mind to it. But if you don't put your mind to it, it's not possible. I mean, what a line, right? And I don't know if anyone's ever said it like that, but it's perfect, man. Anything's possible if you put your mind to it, but if it's not possible, I don't even know what I just said, but it sounded great. But anything's possible if you put your mind to it. But if you don't put your mind to it, it's not possible. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's not going to happen for you just because it's supposed to happen for you. That's not how stuff works, right? Anyway, let's get back to BTC. So this is promising. This 3-day, we had one here. It gave us a bump. It had one here. We gave us a bump. We actually never had a 3-day tweezer bottom that didn't give us some. That one was not the best. That one was This one was pretty decent after a nice cascade. Imagine we get back inside this pattern and we flatten the shorts. It would be a violent move, I believe, back up. I don't think it would be as slow as we think. I think it would be pretty violent. Again, these things are possible. I'm open-minded to it. The people that aren't are going to get wrecked for sure. I might take a stop-loss hit. I might lose. I might be wrong. But I'm only taking a shot out of I'm only taking a shot out of over a percentage of probabilities. So I don't have to be right every single time. Understand? And neither do you. That's what people don't realize. And I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and you should be taken as financial advice. That's how traders exist. Everyone thinks we exist because we're right. Oh, these guys are awesome. Every time they hit the thing, they win. These guys are winners. People have this assumption that traders are like these quarterbacks that never throw interceptions. It's just not true. We throw interceptions all the time. We just get back up and throw touchdowns, man. 80-yard passes when we have to. Like, fourth down. One thing about me, though, is fourth down, you know what I mean? It's fourth down, freaking, and 8 yards. We got to score, or fourth and goal, you know what I mean? I'm getting it in, man. I'm getting it in. Somehow, some way, I'm going to win. And I've decided that that's my life. I decided that the end result is a win. So I don't take anything else. If it doesn't end result as a win, I keep moving until I get the win. But a win will be had, I'll tell you that, right? And that's the mentality you got to have in everything in life. My dad was a savage. He taught me how to be a savage. It's either given. I think some people, I've tried to help them become savages, but it wasn't given to them, right? Like, if your dad wasn't, my dad was vicious on me. So what I do is I'm not, vicious, hard on people in the group, but I'm hard mentally. I push you. I challenge you to toughen yourself up for sure. You join the trading group, it's going to be a place that says, hey, your last way of life, you were letting yourself slide a little bit. And here in this group, we're going to push you to your limit, So could we get this bullish divergence, an inverted head and shoulder? Could we end up back inside the pattern? Could the shorts get absolutely flattened? Could this beautiful double bottom on the stochastics RSI in the 22-hour time frame with this bullish div end up being the pump? Could the MACD turn after being super oversold, the most it's been since basically the biggest dip we've seen recently, which was here? Look at the MACD. It got lower than that. It hasn't even been that low since right there. These areas. Anyway, so I don't want to blow hopium at you. We're below the 200 moving average on the daily. We got to get above it. If this candle never closes back above this, we are bearish. And we were above it for just a bit there. It was kind of interesting. So for me, like, I'm still bearish until we can get above this line. You know, it doesn't mean I can take shots on longs when I'm like, like, we don't know for sure. This is definitely a bullish div. Like, you can see it clearly there on the 8-hour time frame. My indicator didn't pick up on it yet, but I see it clearly. It has made a move. We were looking at this, though, as if it was a bear flag, and it very well could be. Here, though, we are looking at, I believe, a falling wedge that is beginning to break out. Like, it's attempting to break out of that trend. Here's your measured move for Bitcoin, though. That takes you all the way down here to about 97,191. If this bear flag decides to take us down, which is right now the most likely scenario. I'm giving you bullish tones. I'm showing you there's chances. But I'm just telling you that, right, like, the bulls have to show up. The bears have made a statement. The bulls have to show up. Before the bulls have made a statement, the bears had to show up. Well, the bears, you know what? They did show up. They broke the 4-hour 200 moving averages. We broke up. They bearishly retested the 4-hour 200. They sent us flying. They gave us this head and shoulder that we looked at for a few days, right? Remember? And then they would, and then just completely collapse the price. It was a descending triangle, as I showed you. Both times we looked at it, it looked like it was going to dump to the downside. That's exactly what happened. And we got a little bit of, this was pretty obvious to see, right? And then I found the bottom, watched that move. We found the cup and handle, if you remember, that I have on my X account right now. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Mine's clean. I saw, oh my God. But right there, we're still in this trade. Understood? Remember? That's kind of how this all began. So, this is kind of where we stand for BTC, right? So, bear flag. And honestly, it's still, you came back to the 21. It's likely good, that's a bear flag, right? And so it's likely I'll get stopped out of my trade and maybe in some gains because I'm up now, right? We'll go from there. But, not amazing. Still up $400 though. Still bullishly retesting this, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of dynamics going on right now. Stick with me. And then so here we are on that 1 hour that just got above resistance. So this is cool because there's some pretty obvious things that are present right now. Number one, we have to break back below, a few, like 2 or 3 candles have to basically break back below 107.4 now. Like, we got above a resistance. And we did it in a major way. Like, we got a resistance, made it look like it was over. They basically made people, look, it's crazy, right? Look, they made a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, resisted the level, and then and it's funny, no matter what they did, this is what I want to teach you. They felt like they manipulated a stop hunt, but they did look, they followed the pattern. The pattern said that's what's supposed to happen. I'm trying to tell you, when you see manipulation, they just follow what the TA told them had to happen. It's almost like they're stuck inside of this predictive patterning that they don't even know they're in. They think they're getting over on you, but we're getting over on them. By being students of the game and teaching ourselves what technical analysis is and was for the last 100 years, because this is what it was. These patterns are tried and true. People have been using them for a long, long time. Okay? We're standing on the shoulders of giants. We're using dedicated knowledge that's been created for us, passed down. Generations of time for me to create these flags and talk about the support and resistance. Like, it didn't happen overnight. And it's still tried and true to this day. The 15-minute can't break the 200 moving average. We talked about that. Really wanted to see, this I thought, could have been the real one. Again, they stop hunted. You see, every single time they've gone after, it's just been and you could see a pattern. Here, they know it's like almost like they know my strategy. Oh, they're going to hide below the 200. It's crazy, right? But now this is what we're starting to see. And give the 15-minute time. But today, the future market opens at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, I believe. And that's when things will start to cook. I'd like to see the 15 minutes stay above the 21 here and pump its way to $110,000, right? Bookmap suggests that there's actually liquidity to the upside today. Look at that. Still got the red, though, down at 102. But look, it's got big red up here at $108,200. So Bookmap is suggesting the closest and the biggest positions to get liquidated today are about 108 to 108,200. So they caught some shorts on this move. It's almost like they got more people to open a short when they dapped into this liquidity. People are like, oh, I'll grab a little more. So the fear is high. That means the majority of people are short. The majority of people would never long this at all. Most people would never long what I'm doing right now. It's insanity to them. They think I'm a legend and a hero. I'm just doing what you're supposed to do. It's very boring stuff. All right? It's crazy. You'll look like a legend and a hero when you just do the simple stuff. Because the simple stuff is what 99% of people refuse to do. The discipline, the daily consistency, the dedication, right? I talk about the 4 Ds, right? First, you desire to do something with your life. You finally say, I can't do this anymore. I want to do something different. And you build the desire, right? Then you form the dedication to do it all the time, no matter what, right? You dedicated to it. Then you have to have the discipline to keep doing it because you get sick some days. You don't feel good some days. Some days you as a person don't truly have it in you. But the person you built behind the person you are that is driving you has it in them. And they got you to keep going. And that's discipline. It's this inner drive, this other person inside of you that says, no, too many days you are on point. I can't let today ruin all your on point days. You will not let this slide. You will not let this go, right? I studied many YouTubers, specifically streaming YouTubers in cryptocurrency, right? Because I got into the space and I watched a lot of them. And the one thing I saw about them is they took time away and they ended up losing the momentum they had before. And to me, that is crushingly to have to work even harder to gain or maybe never even gain what you ever had, right? And so, I've seen it happen to a bunch of YouTubers. I don't want it to happen to me. So I work hard every single day, right? We're looking to see if Bitcoin could get this bounce and go sideways on the 15-minute time frame. That's the key. If it can, we're on our way, right? So if we lose the 200 moving average on the 15 again, they're playing games. It's right. And I expect just more sideways price action. This is technically sideways, right? But we got above the key resistance at 107,000, like $300, 282 there. So far, so good for Bitcoin. We'll see how this goes. And I kind of complete this tonight at 8 p.m. when we go live for the weekly candle close. Your discipline and dedication is off the chart. Much love. Shout out to you, my friend. God bless you. Let's take a look at that fan funding. So grateful for your channel, Sam. You're the man. God bless you, man. I'm grateful for you. Thank you. So many nice people that I come across through the channel, too, that are just dedicated and beautiful. I appreciate you guys. Work on a Sunday. Amen. Shout out to Reliable J. Shout out to everybody here. Ehrlich Wright. Ulrich, we love you, man. Dizzy Gang, Orhan, the first guy who commented, I seen that. Ahmad, Moonshine, Scottish Crypto in the house. October has been stronger in the second half of the month. We all find out soon what plays out. Yeah, we'll see. we will see. I mean, you have to go down to come up, don't you? Right? Usually the low is the second week of the month, right? So we'll see. You never know. Let's take a look at something real quick. It's just the monthly candle on Bybit spot. Ooh, nasty red candle there for Bitcoin. I mean, it looks like this is going to close a red indecision doji. But could it rip up and turn green? You never know. And leave a massive tail behind? So far, that seems to be the low of the month. And it looks like it'll teeter around the next few weeks. But only time will tell. Remember, we're above monthly support at 102,000. All these bear people that say we're going down to 97, 67, I'm showing you that's the measured move. That's the possibility, right? But anybody that's saying, like, we're definitely going there for sure, like, this has to happen, I mean, we got to close a monthly candle below 102 first. You know, so, like, that's why it's like nothing has to happen, because, you know, you can't, it doesn't, TA doesn't work like that. You see what I'm saying? TA does not work like that. So, BTC, baby. Now, altcoins. I would stay, again, away from altcoins. We have futures coming in today for Bitcoin. It's going to be volatile. You know, PitTau, we looked at yesterday, and we looked at it in my trading group. And actually, we looked at it before when we've been up. I've had it out for months. It's actually moving compared to the rest of the market, showing AI. They're kind of front running AI, right? There's going to be there's going to be an AI run in these AI coins again. AI agents, like, that doesn't just disappear. Like, the way it did was weird. It's almost like they were gearing up for a bigger move at the right time. I don't know, but Hyperliquid, Sweet, everything is hit off. Pudgy Penguin, you know, you name it, it's taking a hit. I'll go. It doesn't matter what it is. And yeah, I mean, if you love a project, great time to DCA. Sol's still strong, right? My 100 grand still up 88,000. That ain't bad. Sol's one of the strongest coins in the game right now. Sol and BNB really are holding us down. Their fear is at 27. It's a little different than the fear one. I've been using the other one for so long that I just use this one. I trust it more because I've used it, you know. So I'd watch Bitcoin in this flag here. I'd make sure the 15 does not lose the 200 moving average. Important that we kind of go sideways now and play games, you know. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they just bring it up and down, up and down. And I'd be very careful at 4 o'clock today. All right. And again, sometimes the best trade is no trade at all. And when you do zoom out and look, Bookmaps still suggest that we are going to go lower. They're still saying, hey, we'd like to liquidate the 100,000 people right here. And maybe even go to 95,000. You can see it. It's all there on the book. So Bookmaps telling us that we're going to 100K. It just has to, you know, and again, this is a bear flag on the bigger, you know, we looked at it, right? All this takes is just a little bit of this. Have the 15-minute lose to 200, and then this thing is likely going to sail. And look, I got the levels right there waiting, 100,000, 97,000. So, and those are just the measured moves. That is what it is. So we got to stay above this level. We got to break back above the 30-minute 200 moving average. It's getting close. We kind of got rejected by it there. So it's getting close. So the check by check, we got to get above the 30-minute 200 moving average. That would be the time frame I'd be paying attention to. 15 can't lose the 200. The 30's got to gain it. So you got to go up. You can't go down. The 15 minutes somewhere here. So it's like you're in a battle between the 15-minute 200 and the 30-minute 200 moving average. That nice pump this morning gave us some hope that we could get some follow through. I'm still long. So you got to figure out what you're going to do. I figure out what I'm going to do, and, you know, I don't tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say or do should ever be taken as financial advice, and you can see it there, too, on the screen, you know. Entertainment purposes only, education purposes only, and this is really just my life. It's a reality TV show of my life every single day in the markets, how I'm battling the ups and downs. I mean, this market has been crazy. We've stayed mentally strong the entire time, and we've pushed through where most people have been disparaged, beat down, and completely liquidated, and I'm still here doing my thing, you know, and I'm so thankful I'm not as greedy as most. I stayed humble, and I was able to make it through some of the toughest trading days, and there may be some more yet to come. So We got to get our wits about us and stay mentally tough so we can take advantage of the lower prices and have some capital. Again, if not, I'm not going to be able to take advantage, and I'm going to be wrecked like most of the people. So I can't do what everyone else is doing to be in a different spot than everyone else. We got to be more strategic, right? God bless everybody on this beautiful Sunday. I love you. I hope you're having a wonderful time. Thank you for this hour we just had, or about 45 minutes or so. It was a blast. I'm going to take a look at the Super Chats one last time. Reliable J, thank you for being a member. I appreciate that. You're the best, brother. 15 months, dude. That's like dedication. And shout out to the fan funding from Dap Blues Guy. I appreciate you. And Reliable J, shout out to everybody holding me down. We appreciate you. We care about you. Shout out to the top fan today. That's the Blues Guy. Orhan. Jennifer Mofid, always holding me down. Jennifer, we love you. God is love, always holding me down. My man. Drew Down, Moonshine, Ulrich, Renee Montenegro, always holding me down. Dave Roy, Optimus, Crypto Billy in the house. I didn't see you there. Rave Song Records in the house. Dark Energy, Packard Baked Bin, Badri, and new NY Guy, E Boogie. See, I don't want that Tone Guy, Chipper, Ian 191, Bellico X, Sean Carr, Ace Comet. So many more of you beautiful people. If you see your face there, Billy's Joint, Super Lisher, Space Shuttle Blue, Nunya Biz. I love you all. Whatever, Ridke, Astig, Cajas, Bella Spada Souvenir. I hope I said it right somewhat. James Nami, Mallow, Ahmed, Crypto Toolbox, Archelon, Bill Branson, The Encrypted, Silent, MF Crypto, Crypto Reggae, Scottish Crypto in the house, my man. The Real K Diggity, Sean, Milligan's Travels, Dizzy Gang, Jesse Gellick. And I'm probably sure I forgot somebody. And they're like, man, you forgot me. Archangel Tron. I love it. Mallow. I think we got them all, man. And if I missed you, I'm so sorry. Astig 808. I think I got them all, though. JD at K88, right? Yeah. God bless everybody here. Thank you so much for jumping on in and being part of something bigger than yourself. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you tonight. And remember, the secret to success is getting started. You're not going to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. Everyone that did anything great in their life picked it up they picked it up. The first, the great artist of our times picked up a pencil or picked up a paintbrush. You got to do something. The great F1 racers of our time decided to get behind the wheel of a go-kart or something to begin a racing career. So, go after your dreams, make it happen. You only have one life. Listen to me, man. I started a little too late. I'm so happy that I'm living my dreams now, but I could have been living them years ago, right? Well, hey, I had to struggle. I had to find my way. God had a plan for me so I could help others that were struggling now in their 20s and 30s, because I know what it's like. If I had it handed to me and everything had worked out at such a young age, I wouldn't be who I am today. So stay blessed, stay amazing. I love you all. I'll see you tonight. God bless. Thank you so much for this channel and everything. I'm so blessed. Sundays, baby, Sundays. Thank you, dear Lord, for everything. God bless us all. Dear Lord, as you bring us all together here on the stream and as the community continues to grow, thank you for everything you've given me in this life and beyond. Amen. And may everyone have a safe, wonderful day with their family. God bless you all. Thank you.